Rolling.
We rolling? So, we're here, chilling. It's your boy Merc, right here, Merc80.com. Eve holding it down on camera. And I'm right here with the world famous DJ Neil Armstrong, right here.
What's going on, y'all? Neil Armstrong.
All right. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. The first question that I always ask is basically, in your own words, what's your story? How did you get to fall in love with your art and your medium?
I was lucky enough to grow up in the golden era of hip hop. So when I was in high school, Slick Rick, Public Enemy, De La Soul, they had all just came out. I got to see back in, it must have been like 94, I got to see Biggie Smalls perform Party in Bull with Tupac on stage.
Wow.
But Biggie wasn't even opening. The opening act, like the headlining act, was the Far Side. Back then I was definitely just a spectator. I would be that crazy kid who would, from beginning to end, I'd get there early, before everyone else was there, get to the front and stay there the whole time, just waiting for the next act to come. And when you love something so much, you don't want to really just be a fan anymore. You want to be involved in it. And my involvement led me to becoming, there's the four elements. You could be an MC, you could be a b-boy, you could be a graph writer, or you can DJ, and DJing is the one that called me. And I started my career, if you want to call it that, battling. So I was like a battle DJ. Most recently, like a battle DJ's names who y'all might have heard of, like DJ Rock Raider, who passed away a little after AM died, I believe. He was one of my mentors. So I used to be part of that scene. For cats who are a little bit older, like that movie Juice, like the battle scene, yeah. That's what my life was like for, I'd say until 2000, 2001. I found his niche doing mixtapes. Have you heard my stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah. That's why I hit you up. That's
okay.
Exactly why
Cool,
I hit you
cool.
up.
So I guess I found a niche doing that type of stuff. Creative mixtapes, not the stuff with like a dude saying his name in the echo chamber 100 times in a bomb drop, not like that. Trying to do creative stuff, and yeah, I found a niche in that, and that led me to DJing for Jay-Z, like in 2008. That little combination of things, plus my older stuff, led me to working with Adidas. So, just like Jam Master Jay and Run DMC, like Jam Master Jay and those guys, they're actually the first people to kind of start that branding situation. I get to do that now.
Man, that's fascinating. In the idea of music, like, did your parents play a lot of music? Was there a lot of music in the house, or were you just kind of like that person that just picked up, wanted to get in the turntables?
I wouldn't always say there's like a direct correlation between the two, but I am Filipino American. I don't know if y'all can tell.
Woohoo!
So
That's Eve right there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eve.
Not completely, but a little drops.
All right, no doubt. So if it's like, these are all of course stereotypes, but there's some truth to it. Like if you're Filipino, chances are you have a piano in your house. Like music is very much a part of our culture. I grew up playing the violin. I am formally trained. I can play the guitar, the flute, a couple of things, but oddly enough, I've forgotten all of it because I hated it. Like my parents made me do it. It's almost inevitable. Like if you're Filipino or Asian, like you end up learning how to play the violin or the piano. They force you to do this stuff. So I hated it. I blanked it all from my memory. The technical aspects of it, but I'm almost positive that a lot of the stuff that I learned helped me to treat how I hear music scientifically. On top of that, I just grew up very multiculturally. I went to church, like I'm a Methodist, which is weird. Most Filipinos are Catholic, but I grew up in a Methodist church, and my district was mostly black folk. So, like, I grew up, my church was in Jamaica, Queens, so everyone just hung out. My church was like the United Colors of Benetton, as opposed to like a lot of churches are like all Korean, all black, all whatever. Mine was just mixed. So I remember just tailing like the kids who were b-boys, like watching them, be like, wow, how you guys doing that? And because like we were all just put together, like all these influences got pushed upon me. Like I definitely have this theory that like music finds you. I think that's universal for whatever type of music you listen to. And you know, the tendency is like whatever music you listen to in high school, you know, that age period when you're like maybe 15 to 18, like that's what ends up like it'll stick with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I had like a sister who listened to all new wave music. Like that would be like the Smiths, New Order, Depeche Mode, The Cure, stuff like that. I don't know if you've heard all the tapes I've done, but that's one of my claims to fame, that like I'm an all-out king. Like that's a moniker I like to use, that I can play and hear. Like I'm into a lot of different types of music, and I think I've done that successfully in a non-kitschy way. Like a lot of people are into like the mashup stuff, and I've been called a mashup DJ, which is not true. I kind of am able to, though, put Al Green next to Alicia Keys, next to The Police, next to The Cure on the same mixtape, and not make it like kitschy, but make it like wow, make people hear it and are like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
That's what I like to believe is the main thing that sets me apart from everyone else out there. I never once really thought though that it would end up being my job and getting me to do the stuff that I've done.
Okay.
I don't know, that was just all a blessing and part luck and I guess part destiny.
Yeah, word.